What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to an angry match reaction after Liverpool capitulate after going 2-0 up to concede 5 goals unanswered at home. Something has to give. It isn't good enough. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game. Of course, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. Before I get stuck into it, of course, I want to give a shout out to our match sponsor, Circl. The football sweepstakes game where the winner is decided by events that happen live on the pitch, and every moment counts. If you would like to join us for future circles, please scan that QR code in the bottom left hand corner. If you're a UK resident, age 18 plus, you are eligible to come and play along with us. And it is a gambling product, so please gamble responsibly. Right, look, I want answers on a postcard here, my friends. How do you go from starting off like a house on fire, going 2-0 up, looking full of confidence, to capitulating and conceding 5 unanswered goals at home in the Champions League? It's unacceptable, whichever way we dress this up, and something stinks right now at this football club because the mentality monsters are gone. They are no more. Right now what we have is a bunch of people that are absolutely stealing a living at the football club, and something needs to happen. Drastic action needs to be taken in the summer, and I don't know who to start venting my anger at first. I'm genuinely just baffled. I'm baffled as to trying to figure out how that first 15 minutes turned into that. I'm honestly bewildered trying to figure this out. Let's start off by going back to the team selection, and I don't really have any qualms about the team selection. The team got results recently. He's going with an unchanged 11, and we started off brilliantly. Darwin Núñez scores a wonderful goal, and of course Mohamed Salah was gifted to us by Thibaut Courtois. This fixture feels like it's jinxed for goalkeepers. And then it's a moment of magic from Vinny Jr. And look, it was a great goal. The first goal, you can talk about maybe, I think it was Gomez and Fabinho could have closed them down a little bit sooner. But ultimately, it was just a moment of magic for the young man. And then the second one, the real dagger, was just a mistake from Alisson Becker. And, you know, I'm not going to go in too hard on Alisson. He saved us many times. He's an unbelievable goalkeeper, but he has this in his game. And it's not the first, second or third time we've seen him do it. And what really annoyed me about it was Van Dijk was to his left and Gomez was to his right. And he nonchalantly just plays it against Vinny Jr. and it ends up in the net. And then from that point out, there was only one team in the game. Madrid showed why they are the reigning European champions, why they are the reigning Club World Cup champions. And we showed why we're struggling to be in contention for a Champions League place this season. Jurgen Klopp, I will feel, should have probably made some changes at half-time. Certainly, I feel like he left the substitutions too late, and I don't understand why you take Darwin off. Gakpo, fair enough, maybe he wasn't impacting the game as much as you would have wanted, but we need to get goals. We need to find a way back into the game, and we basically took off the only real pace that we had. You bring on Bobby Firmino, you bring on Diogo Jota, fair enough, but at least take a midfielder off and sacrifice a midfielder for a forward, but that didn't happen either. And Klopp has this horrible trait of smiling when things go wrong. And I get it, it's a reflex, but it doesn't half wind me up when I see him doing it. Yeah, there's nothing I can add to this that is going to say anything other than it's not good enough. It just isn't good enough from a group of players who we know are capable of better. So I guess my question here is, what is going wrong? What has caused this? You can't say it's confidence because we were flying. We were flying at the start of that game. But as soon as a little bit of pressure is put on us, we fold like a house of cards. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic from a bunch of players who should know better, have been through a lot. And, you know, Stefan Bajcetic is only an 18-year-old lad, so he's absolutely removed from any criticism in this from me. Yes, he didn't have his greatest game, but he was up against Real Madrid. So, for me, Stefan gets a pass, but Gomez, I mean, he's just a gift that keeps on giving, isn't he? He really is. He plays on Madrid with a lazy line that he was holding, and then the deflection goes off him because of a lazy closing down of the shot. Of course, everywhere there is trouble, he's there to be found, Joe Gomez. The free kick that he stupidly gives away on the edge of the box, yes, of course we have to defend that better. Of course, somebody needs to stay switched on, but how on earth Militao was allowed to just stroll across the front of the 6-yard box and head it into the goal without being challenged is pathetic. And I expect better from a defence marshal by Virgil van Dijk. Whatever way you want to dress it up, we are deserving of all the banter, of all the ridicule, of all the mocking, of all the slagging that comes our way, because you cannot go 2-0 up at home and then concede 5 goals unanswered in the Champions League. It is the type of stuff that I would have a field day with if it happened to United or Arsenal or Man City. So I fully expect and respect the banter that's coming our way, because they deserve it. And I'm sick of hearing sound bites, and I'm sick of hearing people saying we know we need to do better, blah blah blah. Just be better. The manager needs to stop buying and not like buying the excuses. He needs to stop making excuses himself. He needs to understand that yes, he doesn't really have many options here at the minute, but there's a reason for that. And why on earth John W. Henry decided on the eve of a game against Real Madrid to just throw out there that they're not selling the club, it just seemed stupid to me. It's just to take any good vibes that have built up over the week, the victory over Newcastle, the victory over Everton, the Merseyside derby, and just dance on them. For what? Leave it till after the game. We know you coasted through the transfer window, John, without having to buy a midfielder. We know you're delighted about that. But think about the fans who work week in and week out to go there and watch that game. The fans who are asked every season to pay more and more money for season tickets. The fans who work all week just to live for that game. And that's what they're getting. That's the response they get on the pitch from those Liverpool players, some of whom just don't deserve to wear a Liverpool shirt anymore. I'm glad there were no boos at the end of the game, because I like to think as a club we're above that. But ultimately, it's just shambolic, and it's not good enough. And there's nothing that I can say that's going to change how you feel right now. You have every right to feel how you feel. And the really frustrating part about it is there's not much we can do about it right now. You want to get Lucho back, of course, and get him in the team. But we can't really use the injuries as an excuse too much here, because we're without Thiago, we're without Lucho Diaz. But other than that, we had most of the guys back. And they just didn't do it. They just capitulated. They just gave up. They just showed no mettle, no bottle whatsoever. The mentality monsters are gone. They are no more. This is just a joke right now. It is just a joke, and something needs to happen, because yet again, players are coasting. Managers being... Well, look, the manager's not faultless either. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Jurgen Klopp. I'm never going to be Klopp out. But there are times where I don't understand his decision making, and I don't understand taking off 2 attackers to bring on 2 attackers when you're chasing a game. Sacrifice a midfielder. Maybe you can say that the legs were getting tired. Darwin maybe wasn't tracking back as much, and Madrid started to find more space in midfield. But with the quality they have in there, you knew Madrid were going to have phases in the game. You knew even when we were 2-0 up, I said it in my match commentary during the watch-along, Madrid are too good not to have moments in this game. For us, it was about managing those moments and restricting them. And we didn't. And we didn't take some other chances that we had. It just isn't good enough. Something needs to give. Investment is needed. Players need to be changed, and we can't do anything about that till the summer. So this is where we are, my friends. There is no way that we go to the Santiago Bernabeu and turn this tie around with a 4-0 victory. It just isn't happening. Even in the loftiest of ambitions, this is not happening. It is now all eyes again on the Premier League and hope that we can claw our way back into the top 4, because we've got a couple of results that have given us a bit of hope. But again, this will be another massive knock to the confidence, another massive knock to the morale of those players. But they've only got themselves to blame. Nobody else made them capitulate today. It was their own undoing, and they need to answer some serious questions. So look, that is it from me. I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts in the comment section. Who are you holding responsible? Why did it happen? How did it happen? I still don't know. Like, you go from playing really confidently, pressing like a machine, to capitulating in the space of one game. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's not good enough, and we need some answers. I'm going to leave it there before I say something that I regret. Thank you as always for watching. Appreciate your support. Drop a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to our sponsor, Circl. But yeah, player ratings videos are going to be up soon, and spoiler alert, they're not going to be pretty.